Good morning, everybody. How are we all? I'm just getting my gloves on and getting ready. Okay, so today we're going to go through these designs. So I put in the group if you wanted, like what you wanted, and you all voted Aura designs and Christmas designs. So I've mixed it up and so I'm just moving that a little bit closer. So I've created some Christmas inspired Aura designs for us to go through today. So I'm just getting my gloves on and I'm just going to prep these little pop nails just so we can start. Hi Maisie. Let me know if you're working with me this morning or if you're just watching. Okay, so I've got my tips ready. So I'm going to go through the products that I'm going to be using so you can grab them too. So I'm going to be using a light nude base for the two lighter nails, and then I'm going to be using a dark blue for the base of this nail. You're going to need a matte top coat. You're going to need some pigments. I'm going to be using these pigments from Magpie. And then I've got my applicator brush to apply them with. Just a Magpie one. And then, yeah, your matte top coat, and then you're going to need a black gel paint, white gel paint, and I'm going to use Fresh as a Daisy. It's like a milky white gel polish. So yeah, I'm going to get started now. So yeah, I'm just going to use a nude base for the two lighter nails. And then I'll go in with a blue base for the blue nail. I can't see any comments. Are you working with me or are you gonna watch, have a go on the replay? Let me know what you're doing. I've got hair in this one, hold on. Have you had many Christmas design requests from your clients yet? I've done 3 Christmas nails so far and we've still got, what, 10 days of November left still? Everyone's going for it this year. Okay, so they are my 2 lighter bases. And then I'm going to use a blue. Just a nice dark blue. This one's Heidi Boo. And then I'm going to pop that in now for a full cure. Oh, one sec. So if I was working on a client, I'd be doing 2 coats of the base coat, but because I'm just doing it to show you how the technique's done today, I'm just going to do 1 layer or 1 coat of my colour base. What I love about this design is that you can use any colours. Any colours will work for this, which means you can use it throughout the year as well. Like your aura background, you can use that throughout any season, so it's really popular with clients as well. And the next step that we're going to do is using the matte top coat. And the reason for that is the pigment sticks to the matte top coat really well, and it's going to give us that the look that we want with the aura. So it's not going to be sticking in places, it should go on quite nicely. Okay, so that's finished. So yeah, now I'm going to go in with my matte top coat. So you just want a nice thin even layer of your matte top coat, and then that can go in for a full cure. If anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the chat and I'll answer them whilst things are in the lamp curing. I'm just going to get some lint-free pads. So what I use for lint-free pads is actually just a paper wax strip. You might already notice, but like with the lint-free wipes, sometimes they still have a little bit of lint in them, whereas the paper wax strips have got none in at all. So I'm just going to cut some of these up ready. Have you tried doing aura designs before? If so, how did it work? And how have you been getting on with like your snowflakes and isolated creams? We're going to do a little bit of that today as well. Okay, so that's just come out the lamp. So we're not going to wipe anything. We're just going to go straight in with our pigment. So if we start with the blue, we'll do it in order. So I'm using this one, Argentina, from Magpie for my blue pigment. And all I'm going to do is just dab a little bit, just have a small amount of product on my brush, and I'm going to start in the centre, and I'm just going to dab the pigment on. You see how I'm pressing and coming up each time? And now I'm just going around in circular motions, just pressing and dabbing into that nail. So I can go in now and get a little bit more and go over what we've just done. Again, pressing and keeping my brush moving. And then I still want that a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go in with a bit more. You're better off starting slow and building it up instead of going in with loads and then finding you've got too much. When you get around the outside, you want to wipe off any excess and then just dab and blend. So I'm pushing, dabbing and pushing. And this is going to create that blend around the outside. And then I'm just going to fill it a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to move on. So I'm just going to wipe off any excess out of my brush and go in with the purple for this design. So same again, I'm just going to go in, pick up some product, just a small amount, start in the centre and dab. So I'm just pressing and moving my brush so that I'm hitting different areas of the nail but keeping that circular motion. And then to make that a little bit more pigmented, I can go in and pick up some more and go back into the centre and really press that in. See how I've picked too much up and it's like gone down the nail a little bit. So I can wipe off my excess. And then really start dabbing this in now just to get that blend. So I'm going around the edge again. And to get that blend, you just want to press and push. Using really light pressure, okay? So if you wanted them all to be the same size, you could just go back to your blue and make that bigger, but I'm going to go with like different so you can see the different, like what it would look like with smaller and bigger. And then for my blue, I'm going to go in with the white. So I'm using Baby from Magpie, but any white pigment will work. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking in the background. Okay, so then we're going to go in here. Again, dabbing that white on, going in circular motions. And I'm just going to wipe off my excess. And then do that blend around the edge. And then if I wanted a little bit more in the middle, I could come in and just add a little bit more into the centre. Again, just dab in, going in circular motions. So yeah, like I said, you could make the blue a little bit bigger if you wanted to, and if you wanted to do that, you would just go in with a little bit more pigment and just go around that edge again. Just to make that a little bit bigger if you wanted to. And then to blend out that edge again, I'm just going to wipe off the excess and then really just press and push as I'm pressing around that edge. Okay, so now that bit's finished, I'm just going to put my lid back on so I don't knock that over. And then you want to go in with your, just a fluffy brush, just to wipe off any excess. Excuse me. You can see there was a few little bits there, and as I've wiped, I've brushed it up, but you can just wipe it. And then go back into a blend. Okay. Excuse me. Right, next step is to go in again with your matte top coat. Because we're going to be drawing on the next nails, so we've got like a snowflake, and then we're going to do some little stars and then isolated chrome. It's always best to use a matte top coat in the background. It's much easier to draw on. So I'm just going in now again with a matte. If you're working with me and I'm going too fast, just shout, tell me to slow down. And if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. There we go, so they're ready to go in now for a full cure. So I'm going to pop those in. I've got the matte top coat on. And whilst they are in, I'm just going to get my next steps ready. So I'm going to get my palette. And looking at what we've got, we're going to need a white gel paint. So So I'm just going to decant some out of my pot and pop that on my palette. I'm also going to need my milky white. If you haven't got a milky white, you can just mix a normal white gel polish with a clear. And then you're also going to want some black gel paint too. I'm just wiping off the product from my tools. And when you're doing that, you just want to be using just a dry, lint-free pad. You don't want to be using acetone or anything like that onto your tools because it will damage them. Okay, so now this is done. Let's do our white snowflakes first. So you're going to want your gel paint and your dotting tool and your liner brush. So just like this one, we've got a bigger one at the bottom and then a smaller one at the top. So with the gel paint, you just want to get a small amount on your dotting tool. And then before you start placing down, think about where you want your dots to be and where your snowflake's going to be and how big you want it. So you start with the centre. And then I'm going to go 2 dots down, making sure they're in a line, 2 dots up, two dots to the side, and keep them quite close together as well. Same on the other side. And then for the outer ones, I always mark it in between these, so between the first and the second dot here and the first and second one here, I want it to fit around the middle. So I'm going to pop that there. And the same here as well. And then whilst we're dotting, I'm going to do a smaller one at the top, just like my nail. So we're going to come up here, and then I'm going to make these dots smaller and keep them a little bit closer together. And the same on the sides. And then the corner ones. So to get a smaller dot, I'm just applying less pressure. Okay, right, when we've done that, just going to remove the excess off of that tool. And then with my liner brush, I'm going to pull through this gel paint. I only need a little bit on the end, so I'm not going to coat the whole brush. I'm just going to twist it to make sure the ends of that bristles are fully covered. And then back to the nail. You want to start in the centre, and you just want to, as you place the brush down, you're going to place it down and pull it straight. And you see I'm anchored on as well, so I'm not wobbling all over the place. I'm anchored on, and if it's on a client, I'd either anchor onto myself like this, or I'd be on their hand, keeping everything still. So I'm going to start here and pull down. I'm going to turn around and come the other way. Always start from the centre and pull through. I'm just going to move this one because it's going to be in my way. Pull this one through. So you should have something looking a bit like this now. And then I'm going to go and do this top one. So just always start from the centre and pull through. You shouldn't need any extra product when you've got that little bit on your brush, because you're pulling the product from the dots through. So if you were to add more product, it would be too thick. There we go, and that one is now ready for a full cure. So I'm going to pop that in now. And then I'm just going to wipe my brush with a dry, lint-free pad. Okay, let's do the purple one next. So we're going to be looking at these stars with the little glow around them. So we've already put our matte top coat on. And now we're going to go in and do our stars first. So from my palette and my dotting tool, I'm just going to create 2 dots for the centre of the stars. So we're going to do one here and one here. And then it's going to be the same as before with the snowflakes. We're just going to pull through. So we just need a small amount of gel paint on our brush. So I'm just going to go through, twisting my brush, making sure I'm getting the bristles covered, and then pulling out of the product so I don't get a big bead at the end of the brush. And then starting from the centre, I'm going to pull down and do the same up, trying to get it in the same line. And then this way, and the other side too. And now I'm going to repeat the steps on this other one that we've got at the bottom. Pulling down. There we go. So I'm just going to make this one a little bit longer. And I'm just lightly going over that to drag that through. Same with this one. And I might make this side a little longer too. And then that is ready to go in for a full cure. Okay, so my snowflakes have just come out. You could go over this with a shiny top coat or a matte top coat when we're finished, but I'm going to do all the top coats at the end. So we're just waiting for our star to come out. Have you tried glowy stars before? Let me know in the comments if you have. If you like them, if you struggled with them, let me know. We can go through that now. Okay, that's finished. I'm going to bring that out. And the next step that we want to do is create this glow around the outside of the nail. So to do that, you want to make sure you've wiped off any gel paint off your brush. And we're going to be using the milky white. Again, we're just going to pull through the product, making sure we've got enough product on the brush, but that we're pulling out so that there's no big bulk of product at the end. And then thinking about where it goes, you don't want it to go all the way around. You do want to have some of it like open, so it looks a little bit more realistic. So you see how I've got these bull bits on the nail. I'm just going to pull through the palette again because I don't want them on there, because it's going to make the lines too thick and it will make our line uneven. Okay, so I'm going to start here, and I want this to come round. So using your two lines as a guide, you want to create like a circle around there. Okay, and then you want to go around again, do the same. And then for the last quarter, because I'm going to leave about a quarter without anything on it, so I'm just going to pull this round again and leave it there. You might want to pull this down a bit so it fades out, so it's not just a complete end. Does that make sense? Then I'm going to do the same at the bottom. So I've pulled out, there's no excess on that brush, and I'm just going to start here and do this in a round motion. Like that. I'm going to pop that in now for a full cure. Does anybody have any questions, or are we all okay? I can't see any comments coming through, guys. Excuse me, I woke up today with such like a cold and a bit chesty today. So much going around though, isn't there? Okay, so whilst we're waiting for that, we can think about our next nail, which is the gold chrome snowflakes. So we've already gone in with a matte top coat, but what we need to make sure that we do is use a prep and dehydrate on this nail, because we don't want any chrome sticking to the background. So I'm just going to use my lint-free pad and my prep and dehydrate, and then really scrub that nail. And then we're going to be using our black for this one. To create some little gold snowflakes. So we've applied our chrome, no we haven't, we've applied our matte top coat, and we've gone over with prep and dehydrate to make sure that no chrome sticks to the background. We just want our chrome to stick to our gel paint that we're about to put on. So the same as before with our white snowflake, we're just going to go on with our centre dot. And then we're going to go up 2 and down 2, and then across 2, and down, and then again we just want to go into the middle of these and add a little dot. And then to create the smaller one at the bottom, it's not focusing, I don't know if you can see. What we're going to do is just do a centre dot, and then we're just going to go 1 up, 1 down, and 1 either side. And then using your liner brush again, you just want a small amount on the end of your brush, making sure you're pulling through the product, but that you've covered the end of your brush. So you should have something that's not focusing, like that, okay? And we're just going to use the product that's on the nail. So we're going to anchor ourselves on, and we're going to pull through. Like this. And we're going to go through every dot that we've put down. Now, if you make a mistake when you're doing isolated chrome, it's really important to really scrub off any design that you've got on that you've not cured. You need to really rub it off with your prep and dehydrate. And then I'd buff the nail, prep and dehydrate again before redrawing your design. The reason for that is if you were to just wipe off the bit that you'd gone wrong on or the bit you didn't like, and you applied your chrome, there would still be a bit of residue for the chrome to stick to. So that's that one done, and then we're going to come down to the bottom, and we're just going to pull through these ones. And then with the dotting tool, I'm just going to add small dots in here and just leave it like that. And then that can go in now for a full cure. Okay, so this one's just come out of the lamp now as well, so this is ready for a top coat. Again, it's up to you if you want to use a matte or a shiny top coat. I think both look really nice. They both are really effective. I do think though with this one, because it's matte, it gives more of a wintry kind of vibe. I like it. You could also add some like glitter, or if you've got any like iridescent flakes, you could add a few of those in the background. That would make that look quite nice. You could do the snowflakes over the iridescent flakes. That would be nice as well. Sorry guys. Okay, so this one's done. So the next step for this one is now just applying our chrome. So I'm going to go in, I've got my gold chrome from Sparkle, but any gold chrome will work. And you just want to take a very small amount, and then you just want to dab this onto your black. I'm just going to use the other side to really burnish that in. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same down at the bottom, just go over this, turn that over and use the other side to burnish that. And then I'm just going to put the lid on this because I will knock it over. You now want like quite a rough brush, so I've got, it's like a paint brush, it's just a magpie duster brush, but anything that's like this kind of texture or like a rougher brush, and you really want to go over this and be quite rough with it, and this will get rid of any chrome that has sat on the back, but it won't take it off your gel paint. So when you're doing isolated chrome on a client, I would always recommend that you go over your chrome bits in like a clear structure gel or like a base coat. And the reason for that is it would lock it in, because if you just went in with the top coat now, you might find that your client's having chips or like bits of chrome have come off. So on a client, I would go over these in a base coat or just a clear coat, and then top coat after you've cured that. But just for the purposes of today, I'm just going to go over with a top coat. Right, I'm going to do this one matte again because I quite like it in matte. So I'm going to go over this one with my matte top coat. And then the other two, I'm going to use just a normal shiny top coat for those. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I hope you've taken something from it. And let me know how you get on with your chrome and with your snowflakes, your aura design in the background. Let me know how you get on. I'm going to post the live now when I come off. And then, yeah, go in, add your comments, add pictures of your work I'd love to see. And if you pop in them on your social media, if you tag me, my Instagram is hon_nailacademy. I'll share you onto my page as well. So yeah, they're going to go in for a full cure. So this is a great design for Christmas, and you know, you can be adding extra revenue into your business in December for Christmas designs. Even your clients that don't normally have a Christmas design, they probably will in December. And you know, these are quite subtle, aren't they, as well? So they're quite nice to have, and it brings you extra money in too. Okay, so that is the finished look. Have a go. Pop your version in the comments for me to see, and if you've got any questions, just ask them and I'll answer them for you. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.